Hello, Shishoons, my name is Alex, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. In the last video, we managed to get tickets for the SSN by helping out the Pokemaniac himself, Bill. So what I'm doing now is that I am progressing with the story a little bit by heading back to Vermillion City. Now, that Squirtle there is a bit of a hint for later. In the next city, you will be able to get it if you meet a certain Pokemon requirement. And I just went into the Pokemon Center there so I can heal up. But we need to continue the story so we can get to Vermillion City. Now, I switched up to Regina first. Because I believe this dude was going to have a mon that Brute Root was not going to be able to take care of. Now, so in the original games, right, this plot point is where you got the Dig TM. Now, Dig is a 2-turn move, meaning that it takes 1 turn to get the effect set up, and another turn to do damage. Now, these moves can be pretty good, actually, because in some instances, you will avoid the opponent's attack entirely, which is nice to have. However, this also makes it a bit of a double-edged sword, because if you're going up against an opponent who has, let's say, magnitude, then it will do double damage if you're underground. So, yeah, choose your battles wisely with Dig. Now, I actually kind of have to rely on it for a good ground attack, because I don't really have anything that can take care of poison types yet. Well, if I do, it's not by much. But there is another benefit for Dig, in that it's really powerful at base 80, which is, pretty good, all things considered. And thankfully, since this is still the part of the franchise where you can reuse TMs, I can technically teach Dig to a variety of Pokemon. So just in case, well, I say just in case, just until the Electric Gym, I taught both my Geodude and Sandshrew these moves. I could have also taught it to Regina, but I didn't. I didn't think it would really fit. And I also could have taught it to Chloe, but as we'll go on later, it's best if you just save Chloe for special attacks, and to hold off evolving her until level 28. You'll see why later. And just gonna go through these routes, which don't really have a lot of new Pokemon, although you can find a Chansey here. Oh yeah, and also Abra. Abra is another case of trade evolutions, and it's a shame because it's incredibly powerful. At least when it evolves. So, I don't fully remember what that dude was doing. I kind of talked over it and didn't really pay attention. But that is the daycare. You can leave a Pokemon in there, and they will gradually gain experience points as you go throughout the journey. Though it's not always a good thing, because while it is nice for breeding purposes, it can, they don't evolve while they're in there, so, make it that what you will. So, anyway, so Trace has told us that the that the route to Saffron City is closed. In lore, it's because of the guards. They're too thirsty. Now, this is actually kind of a funny thing. In the original game, the original Red and Blue, you could just give them a bottle of water or just like any kind of drink that would heal your Pokemon, and they will share it with the other 3 guards. It depends on which one you go through. So let's say you help the one here. He'll share it with the ones to the south, east, and west. Or if you help the one near Celadon, it'll do the same thing. Now, there was an item that I kind of missed, and it was just an ether. Now, ethers can restore the amount of times that a Pokemon can use a move. Like, I'm pretty sure you noticed that there was a number next to the move name. That is how many. That is technically, like, if I had to compare it to anything, it's like the magic points essentially. And ethers in an RPG can restore MP. So, you know, it makes sense in that regard. But anyway, so until the guards are taken care of, we have to go through these underground segments, which aren't that bad. There are a couple of items in here, but that's really about it. Anyway, so now we're on Route 6, and this is where we will get our next team member. And, well, actually, it's our second to last team member, actually. We won't be getting our next one for a little bit after this, so, you know. I also believe this is for a version exclusive thing. So, first of all, I wanted to show off Jigglypuff. Because in the original game you could find a Jigglypuff on the same route as you could Mankey. Well, not necessarily Mankey, but on the routes before Rock Tunnel. Sorry. And thankfully it was a new catch. It unfortunately it wasn't my first throw, but you know, at least everyone gets a good amount of XP for it. Well, I say good, it's not that great. I think a better thing would have been a catch multiplier, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, the main Pokemon that I want is right here. Although this particular encounter was not the first time I not the first time that I actually got the one I want, but it's Growlithe. Growlithe is an amazing fire type for this game. The only downside is that it is pretty much a version exclusive. I believe if you're playing the Eevee version, you'll have Vulpix or Meowth or something, but I don't really know. Anyway, so yeah, Growlithe is a part of my team. Now, you could also go with a Charmander on the other routes, like Route 4 before Mount Moon, the route right next to Vermillion City. But I decided to go with a Growlithe because it's a lot more common, and I mean, there's not a lot of good options for fire types, and I'd rather have this than a fighting type, because at least with fire, it can do a lot more damage towards certain types, you know. But also, I decided to name her Roxy. It's a tradition I have if I get a female Growlithe. You always name her Roxy. Well, like, if I know that a female Growlithe is available, I get a Roxy. Well, I name her Roxy. Fuck. Now the quirky nature, I believe, actually helped a little bit because it boosted up the speed or defense, I believe. But Roxy is not going to evolve for a long time, mainly because of So here's the thing. Growlithe is a line known for being a stone evolution. You use a Fire Stone, it evolves into Arcanine, one of the most majestic Pokemon there is. But here's the thing. With stone evolutions, as soon as you evolve them, they don't really learn any moves by level up. Now, normally with Growlithe, you want to hold off until like almost late game, because by then it will learn at least halfway decent moves. Like since this is Gen 7, we have access to a Fairy type move called Play Rough. It is 90 accuracy, but it's also a 90 base power move, and generally speaking, Arcanine can be a bit of a mixed attacker, though in my experience with a lot of Pokemon, they tend to lean to one side or the other and being pretty frail. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it can be kind of annoying, but, as long as you have the patience, it'll be fine. And it's also a bit of a pain because Growlithe right now is level 13, where everyone is, well, like most of them. Well, I say most. Currently, they're either in the high teens or they're over their 20s, like Brute Root and Regina. Now, I also decided to keep a lot of the battles in, or I think all of them this time around, because the raw footage as is pushing 22 minutes. And, we will be exploring a little bit later, but not by much, okay? So, anyway. Oh yeah. We can also see some of our Pokemon. Well, some of the other Pokemon that we're not really going to use that much in battle. For example, Sandshrew, and I will hold on to this game, and I will hold on to this thing until the fifth gym. Sorry. And it's also a good time to show off Dig. Yeah. It's pretty good, especially if you have a Nidoking or Queen by this point. They are monsters with this move, essentially. And you're going to have to rely on this move for a while before you're able to get a proper proper replacement. Sorry. And here we go with the rename, which, now, eventually, what's gonna happen is that you are gonna see a Roxy follow me around a lot, and as I said, it's basically because of because of how, like, okay, so this is a bit of a mechanic for this particular game. Like, if the Pokemon follows you around, it'll grow a lot more affectionate towards you. Which means it'll break through a lot of stats conditions. It'll break through, like, it will hang on for you in a pinch, and is more prone to land critical hits. as well as the moves, as well as being able to avoid the moves. Well, some moves at least. And it's as simple as if you run into a mon that you don't want to catch, it's as simple as just pressing E and or B and just saying yes. Now, this dude has a Tentacool, which is the Zubat of the sea, apparently. Mainly because you will encounter this thing a lot more often than any other water type by surfing. Though, thankfully, it's not that... It's pretty squishy when it comes to battling, although... depending on what you do, you can make it an absolute unit. And it does have a bit more versatility these days because of the fairy typing, though, again, it's not exactly recommended. Now, I want to say that the camper on the left... Oh, look, it's Bellsprout. And I'm just going to say this right now, I love Bellsprout more than Oddish. Okay? That's one thing I don't necessarily like about the game. A lot of grass options are, a lot of things are... Well, a lot of good things, I should say, are version exclusive. Like, I like the Victory Bell line more than I do the Gloom or Vileplume line, but... You know, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, right? Now, the camper over here is going to have a Charmander, which isn't very weird in this game because you can find the other starters in the wild just fine. So it's not that weird, but if you were playing any other game, it would be because... there's only one of every starter in the region, apparently. So, how did those guys even get these Pokemon? So, yeah, it's a little bit weird. But, thankfully, with those trainers defeated, we can now head into Vermillion City, which has a very, very nice soundtrack accompanying it. And also, yes, you can get the Squirtle here, but we are not going to be doing that. We already have a water type plan in the future. Well, actually, we have it on board already, and it's pretty close to evolving. It just needs a few more levels. And we are coming over here, so that way we can get on with the plot. Now we can board the SS An. Well, we'll also, just get a sailor set, but I don't really use this. I don't really change clothes in this game. I think that the base outfit is the best of them all. But yeah, the SS An. Oh boy. Okay. So in the Kanto games, the SS An is a one-time area. Okay? It is a ship full of sailors and other passengers. And the exact purpose of this, I don't really know. But in terms of story, you would come here for an HM, which is a hidden move. Now, with the advent of Gen 7, which was Sun and Moon and the Ultra games, HMs were not necessarily HMs were being phased out in exchange for other tools and methods at your disposal, so you can get around the region a lot more easily. And that was a change that I welcome. Even though some HMs are actually pretty cool, like Surf or Strength. I mean, hell, even Fly had its uses, But we are not going to be finishing off the SS An today. We are only going to be exploring a small portion of it. Now, I also like the music in the SSN because I don't know, just like something about it. It's like it's very calm. It's like okay, so it's calm. It's kind of relaxing, and maybe just maybe it'll feel like you're that you're possibly going on another kind of adventure. I don't really know, but don't I think I'm just rambling around like a madman here. Although there was something here that I didn't really expect to do. As soon as we get to the next Pokemon, which there we go. So we have a Machop, right? Now you see that little, you saw that little shaking there, right? Well, this is a sure hit, which is Pika-Pow. Now, I'm still not sure exactly how this thing even works. I believe that you need... I thought you needed a Zippy Zap in your move pool, or at least one electric move. But basically, it's a one-hit move that will never miss, and yeah. I'm gonna save that for way later down, the road. So, you know. Now, the SSN also has a bit of a dark secret, at least if you're going by the fan theories. Now, okay, so I probably... Well, actually, no. I'll say that for the next video, because we will be exploring more of the SSN by then. In fact, we're gonna be finishing the thing, and yeah. So, the SSN was home to a rumored Mew encounter, which has since been proven to be fake. So there was, I'm pretty sure you saw that there were two areas that that you could simply, in theory, you could use a Pokemon that knows Surf, right? Well, so the rumor was in the original Red and Blue, you could surf off of that and go and find a truck, right? If you use Strength on that truck, then you'll have a Mew encounter. This has since been proven to be fake. So if you try it, you're not really going to do much of anything. But in Fire Red and Leaf Green, they actually made a bit of a cameo for this by giving you an item called a lava cookie. Although you do need to go through a few hurdles in order to get through it, so you know. But we will explore more of the SSN and go into that theory I was talking about earlier in the next video. So until then, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and if you're new around here, please subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I am fairly confident that we can hit it. Until next time, Starship Goons, remember, reach for the stars.